While working on my Sunny V2 video, I watched several of his and other people's rise and fall videos, where they talk about YouTubers who fell off for one reason or another. Most of these YouTubers just have relatively normal declines that everyone goes through at some point, right? Those aren't particularly interesting. What I like to hear about are YouTubers who've gone down in flames, once respected titans of the site who have had their entire careers destroyed in one fell swoop. Mistakes so egregious that they have no hope of ever recovering. I've seen some people argue that this has happened to Sunny V2 with his Chris video, which would indeed be poetic as it's the fall of a rise and fall YouTuber, but in reality, all that video did was cause a little blip of lost subscribers, and then it went right back to normal. And while Sunny V2 has been on the decline as of late, it just seems to be another one of those boring-ass declines that would have probably happened either way. If you can even call it a decline. I mean, he still gets millions of views a day and still uploads fairly consistently, like nothing's ever happened. And while I'm not a fan of him and I do feel he fell off content-wise, his decline is nothing compared to a certain other YouTuber whom I may have flashed on screen for a split second. Funnily enough, it was only a few days prior to me uploading the Sunny V2 video when Linus Tech Tips, quite possibly the most well-known tech tuber on the site, got exposed by another tech tuber, Gamers Nexus, for a ton of inaccuracies in their tests and data. Not to mention this rather bizarre controversy between them and Bidet Labs, where LTT auctioned off a prototype of their product without their permission. Like, ain't that a lawsuit?
Oh, go away, we're frauding.
Throw in some very concerning allegations of a toxic and sexist work environment and some half-assed corporate apologies, and you have what is undeniably a disaster for LTT. His main channel has lost upwards of 200,000 subscribers, which
isn't not Linus,
50 million, but it's still a significant chunk. All the latest videos have been getting mass disliked, and many commentary and tech channels are wearing in, and most
Sunny
have been
V2 and now
incredibly scathing
Linus.
towards Linus. And even though Linus has been seemingly taking things seriously, it's still just, it doesn't feel like the Linus we know. There's this feeling of betrayal in the community because this is Linus Tech Tips we're talking about, right? A channel many have respected for a long time, and the idea that a channel like this can have so many skeletons in their closet, it kind of screws with your trust.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder who else is, hiding things.
Who else?
For example, Illuminati. Yeah, I know she's been covered to death by every other commentary
What
and
the
video
fuck?
essay YouTuber in the world, right? Believe me, I've tried holding my tongue about her. But everything that has come out about her has hit me especially hard, as I used to be a fan of her channel, especially her videos on Autism Speaks, which as a high-functioning autistic man myself really hit home for me, because I do not like Autism Speaks and how they try to speak for us. And I saw Illuminati's video on this non-profit organization as a huge beacon of support towards the autism community. It would just
Wait,
be a
I've
shame
never
if
heard of
Illuminati
this channel.
secretly created sock accounts.
I'm sorry, I've
to
never
be
heard
an
of this
autistic
channel.
fan
Her
of hers to run a
situation,
smear campaign
I
against her ex-friends or something like that. Except that's
the fuck?
exactly what happened, allegedly. I'm not gonna go through the whole drama here because it's this ongoing shit show that gives me a headache every time I try to think about it. So let's just say that Blair White, the woman behind Illuminati, is not a good person. She's allegedly super manipulative and vindictive and unreasonable, and considering the sock accounts hypocritical, and she's just crazy all around, it seems. And while that sock account situation is barely a crumb of the pie, it was what floored me in particular.
At the time, I wrote it off as a disgruntled troll with a little bit too much time on their hands and tried my best to ignore it. This was Blair all along.
Like, lady, you're sitting here positioning yourself as an ally for autistic people, yet you're doing shit like this behind the scenes? And you're also going after people who were saying the R word decades ago, yet you're allegedly using them decades ago, yet you're allegedly people who were saying things? The same shit like this behind the scenes.
I need you to work with Blank to help me find click saying the R slur in Sadmilk's raw video. I can do that. Let me get a shower and I'll be down. She claims he said it in the Sadmilk video, but I can't remember which one. And she's over her head with shit. I'll pay you $200 to find it. Click said the N word. This is a follow up from my other post. I did more looking and Click has already said the R word, the R slur, and the S slur. And now I have found a video of him using the N word. It's about 15 seconds into the video. They are still on his channel. I can't believe this. I wouldn't want him as a part of Sad Milk either. I get it now. The N-word video. Imagine not apologizing for saying the N-word. The sad truth. What the fuck? Okay, listen here, Blair. I am putting all this together. Was this some kind of cover-up? I knew you were the boring one in the group, but you always supported the autism community, and I am so mad that you would be friends with someone who says the N-word, R-slur, and S-slur, and you were just going to cover this up and not say anything if they just left quietly. Alright, this is just absolute bullshit.
And you're also going after
This is all
people
just
who were saying the
racist
R-word
bullshit.
decades ago, yet you allegedly use it in private. Like, make it make sense. And it isn't even the first time someone I looked up to was alleged to have been a complete monster. ProJared is a creator I've been a fan of for nearly 9 years now. Someone who used to be one of my favorite YouTubers.
ProJared?
I remember being 15 years old back in 2015, listening to his E3 presentation rankings each year while playing Minecraft.
I haven't heard that name in a while. What
They
the
were
fuck?
truly some good times, which is
Hello.
why in May of 2019, when his now ex-wife and a couple of randos on Twitter came out with cheating and even allegations against him, it kind of messed me up. Again, even though I never really go and
No.
most people do of his actions, which is why in May of 2019, when his now ex-wife and a couple of randos on Twitter came out with cheating and even allegations against him,
That's
it kind of messed me
wild.
up.
Yeah, no,
Again,
that's
even though I
wild.
never really idolized the guy, finding out that someone you're a fan of is actually a monster really sucks. Except, as it turns out, ProJared was innocent. In what may very well be the greatest Uno reverse card in
What?
history,
Hello?
ProJared released a 40-plus minute long response 2 months later, aptly titled "You've Been Lied To," where instead of apologizing or half apologizing like most people do, he simply went through each and every allegation made against him and proved in detail with receipts why they were all wrong.
I have the receipts.
And not only had it made everyone, including myself, feel silly for clowning on him, but it also started this conversation about cancel culture and how you should trust but verify and always wait for the other side. You know, innocent until proven guilty, things like that. That's a whole other can of worms that I'm also not too comfortable getting into, right? But the point is, ProJared basically exonerated himself, earned back the respect of the internet, and while he has still yet to get his 1 million subs back, he's still been able to do his thing, whether it be his Final Fantasy videos, or his Twitch streams, or his Now in the 90s show. He definitely seems to be enjoying himself, and I'm super glad for him. But now he's really only known as that guy who almost got cancelled, rather than that guy who compared Sonic Adventure 2 to Lucky Charms. And it really sucks. Again, just like Illuminati or LTT, these are YouTubers I used to be a fan of, who turned into villains. Or at least other people made them out as such. And while obviously there are other YouTubers who've turned bad, like Sneeko and like half of all Minecraft and makeup YouTubers, it's just that when it turns out to be someone you've been a fan of for a long time, you know, it feels like a betrayal. It makes you feel like you made a mistake ever supporting someone, and you can't help but wonder who else has skeletons in their closet. I mean, obviously there are certain YouTubers who just flaunt their skeletons right on their sleeves, but you really never know. Even the most wholesome of creators can turn out to be monsters. And it just goes to show that you truly don't know who these people are behind the scenes.
Damn. That was actually pretty good. What the fuck? I'm not gonna lie. I did not watch ProJared like that, Illuminati like that. I did not watch them like that. Sunny V2 and LTT, obviously Linus. I mean, I've always been into tech, so Linus has been around forever. And then fucking Sunny V2, just, you know, the viral videos you get recommended. But I mean, yeah, that's wild. I'm trying to think of a YouTuber in my head that I know that like kind of turned villain, but I cannot. I don't know. I can't really think of one necessarily. Like a YouTuber that turned villain. I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I can't, like, alright, you know what, I can't even think of anything. I can't think of anyone. I'm not gonna waste time, but, I mean, if you guys could think of someone, put it in the comments, and then maybe I'll be like, oh shit, yeah, you're right, you know? Maybe I'll have one of those things, but, yeah, no, I don't know. I can't think of anyone, but that was a pretty good video. Hell yeah. Good shit, good shit.